So welcome to the first part of your training. I have a secret to tell you. The secret is training starts and ends with you. You are the alpha. You are the alpha of your pack, and your pack is whoever's in your household. Now, what we're going to discuss today is how to become the alpha. Now, most dogs, as you see them, will literally challenge you as the alpha, not because they want to be alpha, but most importantly, because they see that you are not establishing yourself as the alpha. And what does that mean? So there are a couple different things. In the packet below, you're going to see a supplemental ebook. That ebook will discuss the actual mentality and the background for an alpha. To be an alpha dog in a pack, like a wolf pack, means that you're taking on the burden and the responsibility for keeping that entire pack safe. The young, the old, the strong, the weak, all of them. And so what your dog does as a puppy, they go through their puppy years and then they start to kind of challenge you a little bit, and they might kind of see, oh, mom and dad didn't like that, so I won't do that. But then as they get older, it's natural for them to still challenge you as the alpha, because if your confidence starts to wane as the alpha, or if you've had any kind of injury, let's say you've had a surgery and your dog no longer sees you as capable of taking care of the pack, they'll challenge you again. If you have a child entering your home and you've just had a baby, again, your dog will challenge you as the alpha, because they want to make sure that you're still a confident, capable alpha that can actually take care of not only their needs, your needs, and everyone else's needs in your pack. So what you're going to do as the alpha leader is, number one, be clear, be calm, and be firm. Number two, understand why you are giving a command. Is there an emergency? Is someone just walking through the door? You don't want them to run out, or are they sitting for their food? And number three, speak clearly, give the command, and wait. Number one is establish yourself as the alpha leader. Be clear, be calm, and be confident. A wolf, as an alpha, would never freak out at another wolf. Now, they may have to do some disciplinary situations every once in a while, but they're not going to be out of control. That would eliminate them as an alpha. So if you're yelling a lot, or let's say you have young kids that are screaming a lot, there's gonna feel like there's chaos. You have to be the calm force. You have to be the calm space that your dog can look to and realize, oh, alpha's calm. This situation is safe. This situation is totally fine, and they don't have to worry. The second part is understand when and why you are giving a command. You don't need to just be like, sit. Okay, whatever, I don't care anymore. You didn't sit. There's no reason for that, and it's very confusing. It's confusing for you because you don't know why you did it, and there's also confusing to your dog because you're like, well, you gave me a command, but you didn't follow through, so obviously your commands don't mean anything. Now, a lot of people, what I see when they're training their dog is they'll do command, sit, sit. No, you have to sit. You have to sit, sit, sit. And they'll repeat it multiple times. That does not help anything. In an alpha pack, you are the calm, stable, structured person that just gives one command. You don't need to give more, just one command, sit, and wait. Just wait for them to sit. The second part of actually establishing yourself as an alpha is to go ahead and be the leader. Now, there's a couple specific things that you do want to do and you don't want to do. When you're establishing this right away, it's important to realize what's actually important to you. Now, again, as a toy breed dog, it's very specific that you realize that your toy breed is more of a, sort of the companion. It's the nurturing kind of situation where you want to hold them. You want them to be on your lap. You want them to maybe sleep in your bed. That's all okay. But you have to know where you want your dog to be and why. If your dog is a normal submissive dog who wants to just be a part of the pack and doesn't want to take on alpha responsibility, you'll see them like this very easily. Rolling them on their back will be a piece of cake. If your dog does not do this easily, that means that they are by nature a little bit more confident, a little bit more alpha in general, and they might be displaying their anxiety instead of true alpha traits. And so what you want to go ahead and do is just check and see. Roll your dog over on their back. If they roll over, then your dog is super, super passive and easy and does not really want to take the alpha role. So if you're noticing any behavior traits, you're going to say, okay, this dog is displaying anxiety about who's alpha, not actually trying to challenge me to become alpha. Now, most importantly, do not respond to your dog's commands. Responding to your dog's commands means that they are alpha, not you. So if your dog is barking to go outside, have them sit. If your dog is barking for their food, have them sit and wait. If your dog is getting into a car, have them wait, you initiate them getting into a car. If they bring you a toy, have them drop the toy, which is a command, and then maybe have them wait or shake or do something else, twirl, roll, head pat, whatever you want to do to establish that you're the alpha, you're initiating the game. After that, once you go ahead and initiate the game, you want to make sure that you as the alpha also stop the game. So if your dog gets kind of bored, you're noticing they're getting tired, that's totally fine. But you'll also want to make sure that they, again, do either a handshake, sit down, roll over, stay calm, whatever it is that you want to do, just make sure you are giving a command and then walking away from the game from your own choosing. Not your dog is just kind of like lost interest and flowing around somewhere. You want to make sure that you are initiating and stopping the games, because that will tell them, again, you're alpha. If you're going to establish yourself as an alpha and you want your dog to listen to you, you're going to have to do a couple different things. First and foremost, I always tell people, never play tug of war. Tug of war is a fantastic game for puppies when they learn who's more alpha and who's beta in the relationship. If you are losing at tug of war, you are losing the alpha role. And make sure that when the game is created or established, you're initiating the game. If your dog brings you a ball or brings you a chew toy or brings you a squeaker or anything like that, they can drop it at your feet, ignore them, and then pick it up when you choose, and then you initiate the game, okay? So number one, always make sure you're initiating. Number two, never put your head lower than your dog's head. This is very, very important. In a submissive position, i.e. putting your head lower than your dog's head, and I'll show you here with Haley. Here she is. Oop, she was just grooming. But so this is my dog. Now I'm going to hold her up. She's about eye level with me. That's totally fine. We're on par with each other. Now if I put her right here, she is in a submissive role. She knows that mommy is more senior to her. If I take her head and I put it above my head, that means I'm saying I am submissive to you. But you'll want to make sure that you never put them over your head. You never want to, you can always kind of put them right on par. That's okay. If you're picking them up, you can go ahead and keep them right next to your face, and then you'll want to go ahead and establish that you're alpha again. Just rub your head on them, just put your chin on them. You can put them under your chin. You can go ahead and roll them again on their back and just let them go ahead and just kind of enjoy the tummy rubs or face rubs or belly rubs that you'd be giving them. And then just remember to keep them underneath your chin or right on par with your chin. The third part of being an alpha is very specific, and this is goes back to basically the wolf pack scenario again. Now, an alpha would never, there's three specific things on the third section here. One is give realistic, obtainable commands and goals. So if you really want your dog to become a show dog, you know, work them up to that. If you want them to become, you know, proficient at, you know, obstacle training, you gotta have to work them up. Don't put unrealistic expectations on an untrained dog. Really start slow and build from there. However, also be aware that you may be putting your dog into a dangerous situation that they see and you don't, especially on walks or parks or things like that. Strangers coming into the home or guests coming into the home, your dog is going to possibly perceive that as danger. Now, you as a human, you're like, oh, it's just, you know, my friend coming over, or the UPS person's dropping something off that has to be signed for. You might understand the reality of what's actually occurring, but to your dog, they think it's dangerous. Let's say you go to the dog park and it looks seemingly totally okay and you think this is great, my dog's gonna have a great time, and all of a sudden they start to get really apprehensive, they start to display submissive behavior, they may urinate close to your feet, they may not want to play, especially toy breeds, they might want up. Your dog is catching on to all of the nuances that your eyes are not paying attention to. And what you need to do is just, again, go back to establish that you're alpha, but also as an alpha, pay attention. It's so important for the alpha to know exactly what's going on. And just like a wolf pack, that wolf, that alpha wolf, doesn't just rely on their own senses to make sure everything's happening. They have betas, they have others in command that are going to realize what's going on. You can do some very specific techniques to relax them, mostly rubbing from their nose, right here. This will start to calm your dog down, and it's also a nice symbol. So if your dog is getting really anxious in public situations, you can always start to do this. I'm just going to show you on Haley. It's right here on the nose. She's going to try to lick me. So right here on the nose, I'm telling her, no, you're being submissive. I have this under control. Now you can do this if your dog is mouthing, if your dog is trying to bite, if your dog is showing their teeth during any situation. Put your hand on their head calmly, and then just establish, I'm alpha. In a wolf situation, either a mommy wolf or another wolf pack member who's more senior to that wolf will literally come up. Let's say a dog's kind of getting out of hand, or they're, getting ornery or whatnot. They would just take their mouth literally and stick it on the snout of the other dog to say, no, 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 I am more alpha, I'm more senior, and whatever you're doing, the behavior is not okay. They don't use a lot of words, they don't bark, they don't howl, they don't start to like have any kind of fights or bring other dogs into the situation. They just notice the dog that's, getting out of line. They would come with their mouth and stick it right on their face. It's not aggressive. In a wolf situation, dogs like to know, the canines like to know their place in the world. It makes them feel confident, makes them feel established, makes them feel like they have a place, makes them feel like they know what's going on in the pack. So if a dog's getting out of line, they don't take it as a personal offense. They're just like, oh, okay, I understand. Now, in your household, if your dog is getting out of line, whether the play is getting too aggressive, whether they are baring their teeth during food. Now, number one, for food, take the food away. So the food is out of the situation, out of the play. But go ahead and take your hand, just practice sticking it right on their face, just like this. It's not aggressive. It doesn't hurt them at all. It's not scary either. You're just literally establishing, I'm senior. You can knock it off. Now, you'll notice a couple things. Her ears start to go down because she realizes, oh, am I in trouble? Is something happening? I understand that I'm not senior to you. That's fine. And that's okay. Don't worry if your dog is doing that. They're just showing with their nuances, their physical embodiment of the actual command. Again, you don't even have to give a command specifically for this one. This is just to show I'm alpha, and you can knock it off. Now, we do this for Haley also when she's licking too much, because she'll just go all over your face. So we do that, so she probably thinks, oh, mommy doesn't want me to lick. Now, the other thing you could do is just rub them right here. This is a calming technique. This says you don't have to have anxiety in this situation. Everything is okay. It feels really good. Imagine just right here, just rubbing right here. It feels really nice, but it also is a similar technique. It's not as aggressive as the hand over the face, but it is definitely a calming technique. Now she's still licking, so she knows, and her ears are up. Notice her ears came back up because she knows, oh, this is okay. I'm not being scolded. I didn't do anything wrong, but I can be calm here. This is totally fine. And now she feels happy and safe again. Hi, good girl. Everything leads back to you as the alpha. So if you want to be a quality alpha, make sure that you are establishing yourself well. And again, you want to establish yourself as the alpha leader, become the leader, not the follower, and give commands in confidence, not control. You don't want to control your dog. Again, a lot of people get confused by this because they think, well, I'm giving a command, that is control. No, you are in a partnership with your dog. The wolf pack dynamic, the alpha in a wolf pack, they don't control their pack. They don't tell their pack every single tiny little, detail, all the minutia that has to happen throughout every single day. They would never actually be able to rest or do anything. They trust that the other dogs in the pack know their role, know their place, know what their commands are, and they can go out and do them on their own. You don't have to micromanage them. So again, give that command, but know that you're not trying to control your dog. Your dog is an individual and has feelings, and you want them to feel good, especially as a toy breed dog. These are companions. We love them so much. We want them to feel like they're still in a happy, safe place. So give the command without the expectation of controlling how they do it specifically. And then as time goes on, you'll be able to see what works with your dog and what doesn't work with your dog. What works, keep doing. What doesn't work, reestablish that trust, reestablish the confidence, and just remember to stay calm and consistent.